Let's go, Tybalt! Great adventures await! Skadee, 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 skadee. Hello, everyone! Welcome to another live stream. Today we'll be talking about the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. And we'll be skadeeing to games. Yeah, that is a way to start off a live stream, but at this point, considering that all day has been making videos and it's been a wild day to be a Nintendo fan and especially a Nintendo YouTuber, I'm a little bit exhausted. But considering such a momentous occasion, if I lose a little bit of sleep, no problem. I'll just make up for it whenever I can. Because you only get a Nintendo Switch 2 launch once. But the Direct came and went. We know what there is to the Nintendo Switch 2. Now is the perfect time to talk about it. And there's a lot to talk about. Unfortunately, there's one major aspect that's extremely unfortunate. If the Nintendo Direct was like a Sunday, then this one aspect, and I'm sure we all know what it is, was like crapping on the Sunday. And it's really unfortunate too as we get into the games. But anyways, we're going to be playing some Mario Kart today. I'm not sure what's up with the name. Why could it be that for the tournament? We're going to do same rules as usual, so let's begin. And you know what? What's really funny about this is for the Nintendo Switch 2 Nintendo Direct, I wanted to wear a shirt that would be like a celebration of it, or momentous. I wanted a series that I wanted to see. I wanted to summon a series, and boy, I sure did. Yeah. Probably not a good idea to wear a Wario shirt. This is the last time I'm ever going to do it for a Nintendo Direct. But yeah, let's play some Mario Kart. And we'll begin. For now, it's going to be a solo stream. So I might have guests later. But in terms of the Nintendo Direct, what should we start with? Do you guys want me to start with the beginning of the Direct? Specific games? The expensive golden elephant in the room? When they raise the tents and lights go bingo. Okay, so we got beginning. We got the prices. Donkey Kong. So let's see. We actually got quite a few different answers. Kirby Air Riders. Okay. We're going to attack this elephant in the room. We're going to eat this elephant like we would at the Outback Steakhouse Extreme. My dog's in the background and he is being annoying. That's why cats are better. The loudest cat is still more quiet than the quietest, or the saying is, the loudest cat is still more quiet than the quietest dog. There you go. Okay, so essentially what's happening? Harmon Smith, he was right! We didn't know you were an insider, Harmon Smith. Now I know where to get my Nintendo leaks from, considering Pioro is dead! Alright, let's address the golden elephant in the room, and by golden I just mean expensive, because in no way is it justified. $90 physical games, apparently. For now, all that we know is Mario Kart World, and I'm still used to saying that because I've been saying Mario Kart 9 for the longest. So if I slip up, that's because I'm used to saying Mario Kart 9. The price of $80, let alone $90 for physical, is insane. It is absolutely wild. Having the games be $80 digitally is already crazy. But $90? What is Nintendo on? Like, my gosh. We all expected games to be more expensive. The idea was that they were going to be $70. We saw Nintendo kind of dabble around with it for, you know, Tears of the Kingdom for $70. They wanted to see what they could get away with. And considering how well Tears of the Kingdom sold, boy, they sure got away with that. But there's another thing about Tears of the Kingdom that's worth bringing up. For one, it actually was the exception. For first-party games, it was the only $70 game. Secondly, $70 in the grand scheme of things, well, it sucked. It isn't that big of a deal. It really isn't that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things, a $10 difference. Games have been $60 for a while. It's unfortunate. Nobody wants to pay that more. I don't like how Sony started the trend. Now, with Tears of the Kingdom, you don't have the excuse that 4K development costs more, and that you're going to need to have higher prices in order to compensate for the development cost. It doesn't make sense. I understand that Tears of the Kingdom was a game that took a lot of time to make, but still, considering that the Switch had a precedent, or standard, not a precedent, of having $60 games, it was just uncalled for. Let me lower the volume. The Mortal Kombat 1, I don't even count that because that's a third-party game. But still, Tears of the Kingdom was an outlier. But the thing is, a $10 difference for a 4K game is not that big of a deal. When you reach 80, that is pushing it. Because that is going to add up fast. Really fast. And if they're actually 90, that is going to add up even more. If you do the math, if you get 2 Nintendo Switch 2 games physically, let's just say the games are 90, like the big games. You get Mario Kart World and the next 3D Mario or the next Zelda. You're going to be paying $180. That is 3 Nintendo Switch games right there. And if you get 10 Nintendo Switch 2 games, you could get 15 Nintendo Switch games for the same price. And it's just too big of a difference. And there's a huge problem. I saw a comment earlier asking me, do I think that this is going to be a repeat of the Nintendo 3DS, where, if you don't know the story of that, the Nintendo 3DS, it launched for $250. Back in 2011, that was a lot. And it still would be for a handheld like that. Oh, you will be joining? Soon? Okay, thank you. We're going to have Bloony Boy in the chat. And what happened is when the 3DS launched, it did really badly. I looked it up because I'm working on a video about it. The 3DS, within its first few months in North America, it couldn't even sell 1 million units. So what they had to do is, because it was such a failure, they had to drop the price to $170. And another thing with the 3DS is that they also, for the early adopters like T&D, they released 20 games for the Virtual Console. There was Game Boy Advance, 10 Game Boy Advance games, 10 NES games. Nowadays that seems laughable, but at the time Game Boy Advance wasn't very old, and NES nostalgia was really high. So it was actually a decent compensation. So with the Nintendo Switch 2, I very well could predict a similar situation happening. Us Nintendo fans, yeah, the thing is, a lot of us are excited to play the new games, and I'm sure some of us will cave in. Being a Nintendo YouTuber myself, I'm gonna have to get the Switch 2, regardless of the insane prices. It's just part of the job. If you were a construction worker, you need to get your tools, even if you didn't like a certain tool or company, or if they were absurdly expensive. So unfortunately, that's just part of it. But see, there's the Joker right there. He is a massive Nintendo fan. This man right here is a huge fan of F-Zero GX. So obviously, he's clearly a true Nintendo fan, and he's not paying $90 or $80 for Mario Kart World. He's not the only one either. So really, unless you're a Nintendo YouTuber, there is no reason to get a Nintendo Switch 2 at launch. And it's horrible for so many reasons. Not so much just because of the price, but those 2 games that we saw are my most anticipated games since Super Mario Odyssey. They're some of my most anticipated games of all time. I don't know if Super Mario Odyssey was more anticipated. It certainly felt like it. Maybe it's because I was younger at the time and I was like, things were more exciting, but I don't know. I was still super excited for what we got. We're literally getting the next evolution of Mario Kart that is essentially the Super Mario Odyssey or Breath of the Wild of Mario Kart. For those who said we peaked with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, ooh, wow. I wonder what you're thinking now. And with Donkey Kong Bonanza, we're getting a full-on 3D Donkey Kong game. The first Donkey Kong game in over a decade, and it looks incredible. But unfortunately, a lot of the hype, just like the Nintendo Switch, it's gone. It's gone. The way to kill hype is to have insane prices like this. And we know exactly why Nintendo didn't reveal the prices in the Nintendo Direct. They just let us get excited, you know, just have a good time during the Nintendo Direct, and then would kick us in the crotch right after with the prices. Now, the system itself, I will say this. $450 is not terrible. $50 more than I would have liked, but hey, if it's $50 more, no big deal. You know, $50, what could you get? Like 10 boxes of Cinnamon Toast Crunch nowadays? You ready? Okay, we're gonna have old boy T&D join the chat. Some guy who clearly doesn't like Nintendo. We peaked with Grand Prix. It just is a problem because these amazing looking games are overshadowed by something that is completely avoidable. And it still could be avoidable. What Nintendo needs to do is they need to see this backlash. They need to understand what's going on. Now I need to call T&D. So let's get him on the call. T&D, you gonna join us? You gonna join us, T&D? Make sure to send those super chats, guys. If we want the Switch 2 for the channel, we definitely gonna need as many as possible. Hello, T&D, are you there?
Hey, what's up, poop dude?
What's up, P-boy?
Let me answer a question here. Rampant, I'm more so confused about the prices. I've been listening in for a little bit, but I fully expected the $70 price tag, but I was kind of surprised at the $80 price tag, and I'm not happy about it, but I don't know if I'd say I'm livid. I think I'm just still in that state of like, I don't know how to describe it. I don't think it's completely hit yet that Mario Kart is $80. It's not a good thing, you know, but I don't know. Maybe I'll be more mad about it tomorrow. I think I'm just more like floored at how amazing the games look, and I don't know if that's bad of me to say. I don't know. I'm just like I haven't been this excited for like big Nintendo games in a little bit. I don't know. What do you think, Dimitri? Because I don't know. Am I okay in saying that? I don't know.
I will answer a question from Cullen. Am I surprised that amiibos are still being made? Yeah, actually, it was surprising seeing some Street Fighter amiibos and amiibos for The Legend of Zelda, or it's Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. That was kind of surprising. I'm surprised they're still doing amiibos, but hey, I mean, Nintendo loves money, but I actually do love amiibos. I'm happy to get amiibos. Here's the thing.
Lucas Barretto said that Cranky appears in Donkey Kong Bonanza.
He does. Nintendo Today in Japan posted Cranky and Donkey Kong high-fiving.
Really? Oh, wait. I gotta check this. But while I check that, you can answer my question.
It's more so with Mario Kart. Donkey Kong, it's just like, if that's $70 and it's only $70, I don't mind too much. I will say with 4K development, if we get results like this, it's worth it. But $80 is really pushing it. And if it's actually $90 for physical games, and if it's $80 for Donkey Kong physically,
yeah,
that's going to ruin some of my hype. More so with Mario Kart.
Well, it says MSRP is supposed to be physical as well, so I don't know where the $80 physical and $70 digital thing is coming from.
It's from Europe.
I don't.
Even if they have a different currency. Correct. No, there's a retailer that said.
Yeah, but it has to be adjusted. I don't think we're gonna know until probably next week when pre-orders go live.
If Nintendo is actually gonna price them at $90, they're gonna Fumar to crack. That's what they're doing.
Well, it's gotten so bad that Penguin Zero is talking about it, and you know, once he starts talking about it, you know that things have gotten bad. So Nintendo has gotten fully greedy. I mean, Nintendo is the richest company, yet they give us a sandwich of games that are like $80. It's insane. Nintendo is greedy. They've always been greedy, but this is a new level of greed. I never thought that they'd stoop down to. I will say that the console price is within what I thought it was going to be.
That's
a little more than what I expected, but within what I thought. Okay. And you know what? For what we're getting, I'm okay with it.
Nico? We should actually call you Nico. But anyways, hold on. Thank you, Soshi, for the super chat. We got the first super chat of the stream, and like I said, considering that I'm a Nintendo channel and I'm gonna cover Switch 2, whether I like the prices or not. It helps greatly. So I was gonna say, Nick, you're more than welcome to join in a bit. I kind of want to have T&D just for now, but we'll definitely get into it. I'm not sure if I want to do this stream for 2 hours like usual. It really just depends how the super chats are going. Because I have a video I'm working on, and it's related to the price, and it's also related to the 3DS. But in terms
Where's
of...
the?
Go on.
Sorry. No, where's the Donkey Kong image on Nintendo Today? I don't see it here.
Japanese Nintendo Today. Check Twitter.
Oh, I'll look it up online. Sorry, continue.
But Soshi, I don't think you replace the Koopalings. We just haven't seen the Koopalings. Literally, if we're getting a Swooper as a character, we're gonna get the Koopalings. I love how with Mario Kart we went from why is Pink Gold Peach a character to who won't be a character. That's what I like to hear. This video is going to be different about the prices. It's not going to be the same thing. If I made 2 videos in a row that were the same, that'd be kind of redundant. This one's a very interesting video. I don't want to spoil it, but if you're a Nintendo fan, you definitely will find it interesting. But in terms of just the Donkey Kong being $70, if it's $70 and the $80 thing isn't true for physical, I don't mind too much. I don't... Actually, you want me to be real? I don't mind at all. It's like $10 more. $10 more to get a game I've been waiting for over a decade. No problem. But
$10 more for what?
Donkey Kong. Rather than... If it's not $60, $70 is okay. I think it's okay considering the cost of 4K development.
I do think $70 regardless, even though we're like kind of you know, even though we're kind of normalized to it, it's kind of insane. It's still kind of insane at this point.
I mean,
but
yes.
I did find the Cranky Kong image. That's cool. I do wonder if that means we'll at least see Diddy in some sort of supporting role.
I have an idea for a video about Diddy Kong. But in the meantime, thank you, Roboto for the donation. Very kind of you. Helps greatly. But yeah, I mean...
I have to say, Ty, I was hoping to hear you very triggered and spouting your 2022 I don't like Nintendo energy.
It's really hard.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. The games that I saw were really, really promising. I'm, you know... here's the thing. I don't think I'm realistically getting the game...
Thank you, Rob, again.
Games that...
Thank you for the super chat.
I was going to say... I don't know if I'm going to get Mario Kart at launch. I think... I mean, I probably will because my little brother wants it, but... I don't know. You know, $80 is kind of insane, but, like, it's not taking away from my... I don't know if it makes sense that it's not taking away from, like, me not getting excited for the game. It's more so, like, me upset at Nintendo.
It's a little bit of...
I don't know.
I'll explain it a little more. But Rodmar Sim, thank you for the donation. Will Chunky Kong be brought back to life? I wouldn't be surprised. But should we wrap up the price thing? Because I've gone on about it. And I will say, I definitely plan on making a few videos about it. I just don't want to do the same thing that I did with the Triforce of Crap from 2022, where I made too many videos about them. But yes, the prices are a major issue, and they killed a lot of hype. And really, we're all Nintendo fans here. And I have an important question for the poll that ties into a very important point when it comes to just the situation regarding the prices.
I guess I'm not as upset about it because I knew that we would all collectively kind of, we would all collectively groan at that idea. I guess, like, my hope is that we bully Nintendo enough to change the price, which, I mean, it's kind of going viral at this point, so it could happen.
Yeah, I mean, I just asked the chat.
I don't know about the price of the console, but I do think that Mario Kart World's price will be altered before it releases.
The console, I don't think people really have a problem with. It's the games. But in course, when the games are overpriced, what do you buy a console for? Do you buy it for a paperweight? Do you buy it as an ashtray? I would use my Xbox as
I
an
guess.
ashtray if I smoked, but
Okay, so here's why I'm not as upset about it. It's because I'm more excited for Donkey Kong. I gotta be honest with you.
I mean,
That's the game I'm looking forward to the most.
it's like a combination of both for me. And the thing is, it's just like the Mario Kart bundle does not give it to you physically. When was the last time Nintendo had a physical game bundle? Was it with the Wii U, the
Probably
Mario and
you.
Luigi bundle with New Super Mario Bros. U plus Luigi U? Because digital
think so,
games
yeah.
are NFTs. They're not freaking tangible. And
You
if
know what
Nintendo
pissed
is
me
gonna,
off? I'm sorry. What I was gonna say was what pissed me off more was the upgrade packs for existing Switch games. I
I
don't
got
like
good
that
news
crap.
about
That's
that.
the. Oh, you do.
Yeah, they're apparently gonna be free with Nintendo Switch Online.
Ah, so they're not really free.
Well, if it's like a $20 subscription per year, no big deal.
Yeah. You know what also was pathetic? The fact that they announced GameCube and they announced 3 games at launch. How pathetic? How pathetic can you be?
How is one of them not Melee?
How is one of them not Sunshine or Luigi's Mansion?
Well, Luigi is in
Uh,
jail, and Mario Sunshine's in 3D All Stars.
And then also, how do you like? I don't understand how you release Wind Waker without having Wind Waker HD anywhere to be found. That was such an easy port to have for the Switch. I don't know.
It is odd, but at the same time, it's just like, hey, they want to sell the new system and the GameCube controller too. Mii's are stuck in system settings. Yeah, we saw the UI and it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same.
I think I'd be more pissed off if Mario Kart was really the only game we saw showcased today. Don't get me wrong. I'm still excited for Mario Kart World, but oh man, Donkey Kong. I've been waiting 11 years. I've been
Uncle
waiting
Nick,
actually
thank you
more
for the
than that.
donation. You're acting like we didn't wait 11 years for Mario Kart?
We had the DLC. I
The
was kinda
DLC
held
didn't do
over
it. The
for a little bit.
DLC, for the most part, it was mediocre. There were some tracks that were good, but for the most part, there was always something wrong with them. Yeah, I was thinking of the ugly microwave border too. But the poll, so far, we got 65% I have a Wii U, and 36% I don't have a Wii U. Why I bring this up is that the thing with the Wii U is that most of us here, I would assume, are major Nintendo fans. We're excited for the next generation of Nintendo. We want the new games. We want to play them. And even if we don't like something, the reality is we're probably going to get it. The Wii U is a good example of that. Most of us have a Wii U. But guess what? It was a flop in the grand scheme of things. And for the Nintendo Switch 2, a huge audience for the Nintendo Switch were casuals. They're not die-hard Nintendo fans like us that are like, "Oh, a cow is in a cart?" No, these are the people who make Pokemon successful. They don't really care about having all the games, or they don't invest themselves in the history of a franchise. They want a system to play something like Animal Crossing or Pokemon or Mario Kart, and they'll call it a day after that. Very casual fans. And that's part of what made the Switch so successful. Not only that, the Switch was relatively affordable too. Some things were expensive like Joy-Cons, but the game's $60. You could get a Switch Lite in Animal Crossing for $260, which isn't bad at all. Even if you got it for the Switch, that's only $360. Now, looking at the Nintendo Switch 2, let's say the games are actually $90. If you don't get that bundle with Mario Kart, and you want to get it physically, that is going to be right there. That's going to be $540. And, or if you wanted to get another game, that'd be like $530. I don't know what Nintendo was thinking. I think they were smoking the crack. And for the exact reason everything is going to be fine. VS Laser, long time no see. What were you thinking of? Are you thinking of...
I think
Or what exactly is fine?
I think things are going to be fine just because, like, I don't know. I feel like us voicing our concerns now is a good thing. I'm not saying they're going to change the price. It would be great if they did. I mean, it seems like it might be likely just because it's become so widespread that it's, like, really bad press at this point for Nintendo.
Someone needs to start a change.org. They were smoking Zaza. No, for Mario Kart, they were smoking Zaza like, wouldn't it be funny if we had a Pokey in a cart? No, this one, on the other hand, this is like, hey, we gotta have the games be like, what, almost $100? We gotta get more crack! Ha!
You know what would be?
They're
you
not
know
actually
what,
getting crack,
what would,
but you get what I mean. Wouldn't be a
it would
Dimitri
piss me
video
off.
without a reference.
It would piss me. It would piss me off more if it was a Pokemon game selling for $90.
They're gonna do that. I mean, they're already doing that with the DLC, but regardless, these games are probably gonna get DLC too. You can already charge more for
Yeah.
DLC, so to do it again, it's like double dipping. Dip and dip and dip.
Yeah, but I do think it's a good thing that we're voicing our concerns. Even if we are going like, "Oh, this killed all my hype for the Switch, Switch 2, blah blah blah." Like that's good. Let Nintendo hear that so that they can make the necessary changes. You know?
No, VS Laser,
I-
you didn't get what I mean. The casual audience is not, or what I was saying is the casual audience is not going to be the kinds who would buy a game like Mario Kart World at launch or be interested, because a lot of casuals are like, okay, I just want to play a Mario or Pokemon game, but when they see those prices, they're going to think twice. Because a lot of Nintendo's, the success comes from their prices being accessible and gaming being affordable. They've usually had a mentality of quality gaming doesn't necessarily need to be expensive. But then you had something like the 3DS. There were tons of casuals for the DS, and yes, the Nintendo 3DS ended up doing fine in the end, but at launch and months after, it didn't do well. So VS Laser, for the casuals, they're not going to want to buy this if the cost is this much. And another thing about it is, think of the parents too. You know the meme, we have Mario Kart at home? That's gonna precisely apply to Mario Kart World. We just fix this key. There we go.
It is a lot of money. It's becoming an expensive. It really is becoming an expensive hobby. Not just in terms of Nintendo, just like in general. I don't know why the video game. I guess like for consoles, I can kind of understand it, but like for games, like I don't know, $70 is still kind of crazy to me for video games.
$70 is crazy, but it's not as crazy as 80 or especially 90. And you might think,
Oh,
it's
no,
just,
it's not,
just a $10
but-
difference now, but that $10 will add up. And if you're defending this, it's just like, do you work for Nintendo? Does anybody like this? Is anyone really okay with it?
I don't think anybody's really. So, my theory is that people are defending it hardcore because they're still on that high of like what they saw with the games. I don't think it's actually processed to them what they're saying. I don't think it's going to process until they actually put their credit card down and see, oh, I had $500 in here and now it's all gone.
It's like the hot dog holder from Jimmy Neutron. Before you know it, it's gone. You think things are going to be fine, VS Laser? They could be, but I actually think that the Nintendo Switch 2 will have a rough start. I guarantee you it's not going to sell as much as the original Switch. And I certainly guarantee you that the launch, it won't be anywhere near as strong as the Nintendo Switch. That price is really going to turn a lot of people off. Your mentality and my mentality about getting the Switch 2, it's going to be different because we're Nintendo fans. If you have a Wii U and you bought it, that still didn't do anything for the Wii U in the long run. It was still a failure, even though Nintendo fans were the one buying it. Nintendo fans will get anything to play the next Nintendo games. But in terms of the casual consumers...
I do think that the outcry will have Nintendo respond in some way, because it's gone far beyond like the hardcore audience, and now casuals are starting to see it. And now they're even saying like, "Whoa, $80 is way too much for a video game, let alone 90." So I think Nintendo does have to address this at some point, and I think the price will go down before June 5th. That's my prediction.
I'm really hoping so. I love Nintendo, and I really just don't want Nintendo to go down a path where they have another failure on their hands because, like we talked about, these games look amazing. Problem is,
And that's not really my worry. My worry is just the precedent they're presenting to everybody.
oh, I'm worried
because
about that too.
regardless of what the price is, it's going to sell. You know, that's not my worry. My worry is that people will buy it for $80 and then they can get away with that, which is not good. So I'm glad that people are kind of speaking their minds and saying, "Hey, $70 we're cool with, even though it's still too pricey, but $80 is where we draw the line."
Here's the thing. I can't believe I haven't brought this up yet. Or answering this question from VS Laser, it's actually a comment. Nintendo does this where they have a good console and misstep to varying levels with the next one, even if they don't learn from the mistakes. This gen will next gen. It really just depends. It honestly really just depends on like certain factors. Because really, I mean, unlike the Wii U, the Switch 2 has a lineup of games that are intriguing. Some of the best looking Nintendo games we've ever seen. So right there, that is something to look forward to. It's a good idea. The Wii U was not a good concept. It's also a concept that anyone can understand, so really it's just a price in the way. It's not going to be another Wii U, but I don't think if with these prices it's going to be successful. But in terms of if you want to say bullying Nintendo to lower the prices, it can work, believe it or not. Do you guys remember when Microsoft...
it happened with Mario Maker too. I mean, not the prices, but you know.
Yes, it did happen. People were pissed off in Mario Maker 2 that you couldn't play multiplayer with your friends. And people were so mad about it that Nintendo listened and added in multiplayer with friends. Even if it didn't work well, they still listened. Do you guys remember when the Xbox One was announced and they said it couldn't play used games? You remember the backlash to that?
Bonanza? I don't think that's a hard name to say, and I think it's a great name.
It's actually Bonanza, like banana.
Yeah, that's why I said Bonanza.
But with the Xbox One, that controversy at the beginning just caused it to have a very rough life, and I feel like that's part of the reason why Xbox is on the decline. It's just the greed and just the anti-consumerism that led to the downfall of originally the Xbox One, even when they added in the used game compatibility. So if we pressure Nintendo to lower the prices, and that was just like, okay, suggested price, oh wait, we changed them, that could work. That would help a lot. Max they could do is like $70. If they don't change it, they're going to have a very hard time selling these games. And if you're thinking it's tariffs, because tariffs were brought up, it's not tariffs. It's not related to tariffs at all. Because if it were tariffs, then why is the Switch 2 even more expensive in Europe and Canada, and the games are even more expensive there? So it has nothing to do with tariffs. And if you want even more proof, that game, Welcome to Nintendo Switch 2, the tutorial thing, and essentially this equivalent to AR games or Face Raiders, that's going to be an app that's paid for. Nintendo's charging you for a tutorial app.
Yeah, there goes any profit for that game.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a system seller.
It's I'm mixed because I love what I saw, but I don't love the pricing of Mario Kart and the precedent setting. I also just don't. I don't know. I don't love paying for enhanced versions of games. I get that they're trying to like bundle it with like DLC for some games, but like I don't know. It's just the precedent that like bothers me, even if it's just $10.
I will say, VS Laser, yeah, they might affect the hardware. Maybe that's why it's a $50 increase, but software, no, it doesn't. A Switch game card probably costs nothing to make. They could recoup those development costs easily. Easily. They could even have it be $60. But you know what? With $70, it's just like, that'd be acceptable. But this is not. It's not at all. And the fact that they avoided mentioning the prices in the Direct was sleazy. They knew exactly what they were doing. They wanted people to get hyped for the Nintendo Direct. They wanted people to enjoy the moment. But then they revealed the prices.
I mean, Rampant, the reason why is so that people buy the Switch too.
As for the cartridges, I mean, the materials, I mean, the production value of the game, of course it has a high budget, but of course Nintendo's going to be able to recoup it if the prices were lower. They're not desperate for money. I don't know what they're doing.
You know, let's put a positive spin on this and just actually talk about the games instead of the prices.
I did want to
am I
answer
the only
more
one who
questions,
thinks? Uh-huh.
Do you think that game companies increasing prices will cause a second video game crash? It could, because when people need the essentials, they're going to give up gaming. And also, there's so many other ways to game other than consoles and such. You got PC and Steam, where games can often be cheaper. You got retro handhelds. People will find other ways.
Also, the gaming crash from '83 was more so because there was oversaturation in the market of crap.
There was
And
oversaturation, but another crash could happen for different reasons.
Yeah, but it's never going to be as bad as '83. If anything, it'll just be like mainly hardcore gamers playing new games and other people finding new ways to play games.
The hobby isn't
I
going
don't
to
think there's
die.
ever. I don't think so. I mean, there's PC gaming that's like skyrocketing right now. I think if anything, console gaming might not be as mainstream, which it kind of hasn't been for a little bit. Just not counting Nintendo.
But yeah, I think we said what we needed to about the prices, so yeah, I mean, the thing is, they suck big time. There's nothing good about it. There's not a single positive about the prices. Unless you're Nintendo, there's none. There's nothing good about them. I will say, though, what there is good about is Mario Kart World. Wow. I know. Okay, to be real with you. Okay, I'm gonna be fair with you. The prices kind of killed some of my hype.
It hasn't for me. I mean, it sucks, but I know at the end of the day I'm gonna get the game regardless. I know that sucks considering what we just said, but I mean, it's Mario Kart. It's like I can't not get it. You know what I mean?
I kind of get it.
Well,
but
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait 6 months for the price to drop. Realistically, is that gonna happen? No.
No, I think it is. They're gonna learn.
I'm saying for me, I don't think I could wait 6 months for playing the new Mario Kart. I could get it from a third-party seller for cheaper.
If only Blockbuster was still a thing where you could rent systems. No, I don't think that Mario Kart's going to be an exception. We could easily see the next Zelda, 3D Mario, Pokemon be that price. It sucks big time because Mario Kart World, it's kind of hard not to think of the price. But everything we saw is exactly what I wanted from Mario Kart 9. It has innovative gameplay, the best roster by far, costumes, fun mechanics, a ton of items. Special items are coming back. Did you guys know that?
Yeah, I saw that.
How many courses do you think there will be in Mario Kart World?
A lot.
Let's see. 14 times 4. What's 14 times 4? I'm not good at math.
I'm not good at math. I don't know.
7 times...
64?
Oh, yeah.
Is that right?
Because we saw 7
that's right.
cups and then another 7 cups. There might be 64 tracks.
Wait. Oh. Whoops. 14 times 4. 56, sorry. It's 56. Jesus. Don't ever ask me to do a math question again.
I won't ask you to do anything. But in terms of Mario Kart,
Game keys are stupid, but they're just a different version of the stupid game code stuff that the Switch was doing. So it's nothing new, but it does suck regardless.
hold up, I got a super chat. I can't pause the game, so could you read it to me again?
Where's the super
Oh wait,
chat?
never mind. We answered the question about how many tracks there are going to be. But here's the thing. It's just like Mario Kart World. There are just so many things about it that look outstanding. And I will be playing it early. So that's going to be very exciting. Thank you, Team Latnite. Here, you're now 6.25 closer to getting Mario Kart World. Thank you so much for the donation. The donations help greatly for the channel, and it's definitely going to help me get Mario Kart World. If I have to choose between eating Lucky Charms and Mario Kart, unfortunately, I gotta fuel myself. But thank you for the donation once again. I try to earn it. That's why I've been streaming and making videos more often. Because I want to keep on doing this full time. But regardless, it's just like, with Mario Kart, it's everything I could have wanted. And I'm glad it's not Nintendo Kart either. We literally saw with the roster that there is still plenty of potential for just Mario characters. I guarantee you we might even get some RPG characters. We saw a reference to Boshi with one of Yoshi's costumes. And also Spike's a playable character! Dude, Spike is a playable character!
Yeah, and...
Aren't you excited? You got me. You were the one who convinced me to get Mario Party 10, and that was the first game he was playable in.
I don't care about Spike.
You know, for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, one of my most wanted characters was Spike, and we never got him. But he's in Mario Kart or Mario Kart World. Now the roster...
50 revealed playable characters. Damn.
There's gotta be... Wait, is there 50 so far revealed? We're probably gonna see more in the Nintendo Direct. Oh, and that's another thing. There's gonna be a Mario Kart World Nintendo Direct in a little over 2 weeks. Oh my goodness! Jiminy Christmas! It's gonna be a long month. I know my girlfriend's gonna be happy with that because it's like...
Wait. The Bluebird says, I don't get why the games are all over the place price-wise. Switch 2, Kirby is more than Donkey Kong, and Zelda is less. A little confused on the criteria.
Huh? Are you talking about the Nintendo
Kirby
Switch 2 editions?
I'm assuming so. I don't think Forgotten Land is... I think Forgotten Land is $70 total, the Switch 2 edition, right?
Forgotten Land? I don't know. If it's $70...
Dimitri! So she says, Dimitri, I know a silver lining for the price. That means far less scalpers. Ah, don't put it past them.
Don't put it past them. They're gonna try and make their money back. Watch the Switch 2 be scalped for over $1,000.
This is a great question. Do you think next year will be when we'll get the new 3D Mario? I think so.
Yes.
I think perhaps we're going to have to wait another year.
I definitely want to talk about Donkey Kong, but in terms of Mario Kart, it's literally everything I wanted for Mario Kart after 8 Deluxe. And, not to toot my own horn, I kind of got the name right. Remember those predictions and concepts I made for Mario Kart 9 back in 2020, where I called it Mario Kart World Tour? There's actually still tour aspects, like there's a mode called Knockout Tour. Called it! And also I predicted Pokey in the roster. Maybe Nintendo's listening to me. Hey, fanboys on Reddit and Twitter. I guess I should just shut up. But in terms of Mario Kart, it's really just... I'm at a loss for words for how good the game looks. And you know how I had concerns about the graphics of the game and how it didn't look much better than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe initially? Yeah, all those are thrown out the window now. The game definitely looks better. I definitely see the difference of 4K now.
Yep.
And the retro tracks that they're including. Some of them are ones we've seen. Sky High Sunday's returning. That's an interesting pick. But also, Toad's Factory is returning, Wario Stadium's returning, and it looks like they're going the Mario Kart 8 original approach, where these retro tracks are going to be completely remade where they feel like new tracks. Like they'll be unrecognizable, which is a great thing. I'm totally down for that. But in terms of the next game, this one, it's really hard to choose between Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza as which game I'm more hyped for. I would say, this is so hard. I don't know. On one hand, Mario Kart, I've been waiting for that the longest, but Donkey Kong I've waited even longer for, especially a new 3D one. I guess Mario Kart, because I'm still familiar with the direction, it's still very much, like, familiar. Whereas with Donkey Kong, they completely rebooted it, but I'm still very excited for the direction. So, with Donkey Kong, how do you feel about getting a 3D Donkey Kong game instead of a 3D Mario as a star 3D platformer to start off the generation? I'm totally down for it.
I'm down for it too. Actually, I think I'm more down for it.
Down like a clown,
than,
Charlie.
like, a 3D Mario this year.
I'm gonna do another poll.
This was best case scenario, honestly, for me. Because I wanted DK to return, and he came back.
Oh, he
the best
did.
way possible.
On January 20 or 16th.
I think the fact that Cranky was revealed in that post tells me that the rest of the DK crew will be playing smaller roles in the game, but they will be present.
All right. I will say that it seems similar to Jungle Beat in the sense where this is probably a Nintendo EPD project.
Oh, it definitely is. But that begs the question: how long was this in development for, and how are they developing 3D Mario at the same time? Have they ever developed two games at the same time?
I don't think so.
So does that even mean we're getting the 3D Mario, like, anytime soon?
Let's hope that we don't wait 11 years for it.
Because that would be a first. No 3D Mario within the first year of the system. I mean, well, Sunshine, but you know what I mean.
No, Sunshine was still within the year.
Two big games. They've developed two big games for 1 year. EPD.
Nintendo has some money. They have One-Up Studios, and they have Nintendo software technology.
Remember, there's different facets of EPD. The next 3D Mario could be developed by a different team. They don't usually do that. They don't give their franchises just to any team at Nintendo. They usually stick with the same team.
It is so linear compared to Mario Kart World.
This one? Given the 40th anniversary, I think Nintendo is holding on to the 3D Mario game and are just waiting to reveal it at a later Standard Direct, maybe in June. Yeah, but why not reveal it here?
Because there's Donkey Kong. It'd be a really bad idea to have a 3D Mario game with a 3D Donkey Kong game.
It's going to get overshadowed regardless if it gets shown off in June.
No, it won't, because it's releasing in July, and that gives it plenty of time to gain popularity. Honestly, I don't mind the wait. We get plenty of Mario games. So, Donkey Kong, I'd rather have him in the spotlight, considering that he hasn't had a game in over a decade.
Oh, I agree. I just hope it's not another 3 years for the next 3D Mario.
I hope so, too. I don't think it will be. People are going to be asking all about it. But you know what? It's really going to give Donkey Kong the time to shine, which is great.
You know, I wonder how the mechanics of the climbing ability works and just the dig mechanics and, like... I just wonder how the game works mechanically. Because, like, I see how it works, but I wonder if there's, like, a cooldown system or, like, a limit to like what you can break or can't break.
Now, considering that I have a video that I'm working on, this stream's gonna wrap up after 4 more rounds. So, in terms of like 3D Mario as a holiday game, you bet we'll see it in the June Direct. I don't think so. I don't think they're gonna do anything with 3D Mario until after Donkey Kong Bonanza. Now, is it just me, or did some of the mechanics in Donkey Kong Bonanza remind me of Skylanders Superchargers, I believe it is?
I guess so.
There was a rumor that this game was developed by Vicarious Visions, or at least started off developed by Vicarious Visions. Developed by Vicarious Visions!
Completely different game.
There was that Donkey Kong Freedom thing?
That was Donkey Kong Freedom. That was a completely different game where Pauline was like some safari woman. And Donkey Kong had banana peels under his feet when he grinded. I do think... I don't remember when that started development, but I think sometime after that, that's when Nintendo decided to take Donkey Kong back in-house.
If we can reach the Super Chat goal within the next 4 races, we'll continue the stream. But if not,
Have we ever had 2 mainline Nintendo 3D platformers within 1 year?
No, but there's always a first time for everything. But how many Nintendo 3D platformers are there? It's just Mario.
Kirby. Did anything come out during Forgotten Lands here?
What was that?
Did anything come out? Did any other 3D platformer from Nintendo come out when Forgotten Land came out?
No.
That year?
No.
I do feel like there's no 3D Mario this year. I think we'll probably see like a teaser of it sometime this year, but I think the reason we're not seeing it is because it's open world.
Nico, we'll have you on the stream after this round. Sweet
I am
Life of
actually
Dio
going to start
Brando.
heading out. I am going to start heading out because I have to hit the hay and go to work tomorrow, unfortunately.
Will Switch 2 flop like Wii U? People are unanimously hate the Direct. People don't hate the Direct, they hate the price.
Yeah. They hate the price of Mario Kart, to be specific.
If Donkey Kong's $80 physically, people would hate that too.
Again, I really don't think it's $80. I think it's $70.
Well, I'm really hoping so. Alright, Brian, thank you for the donation. We are only 2 away from the goal. You think the game prices will... Yes, I actually think that they will do that. Whenever Nintendo gets cocky, they learn the hard way what happens when you become arrogant. Be humble. Be pro-consumer. It's just... Yeah, it's a bunch of BS. T&D, it's only 10 o'clock. You could stay... Dude, I've been up making videos all day. You can stay for a little bit longer. And if you don't, I mean...
No, I can't. I can't.
Come on. Okay, let's be real. How often does a Nintendo Switch 2 presentation happen? This is like if Christmas happened once every 8 years and Santa also robbed you.
Dude, you're probably going to live stream tomorrow. I gotta sleep.
Also, another thing, you shouldn't have thrown out those Bloonies. That $5 gift would have given you hours of entertainment compared to some $90 game. The Circus from Hell.
So PlayStation and Xbox could get cocky, but not Nintendo? I don't understand.
Yeah, Xbox is doing so well. This is an Xbox. This is an Xbox. This is the bento box.
I think our point is that the gaming industry in general is getting greedy.
Alright, let's see. You can watch mini videos and they what is this? You can completely destroy a mountain. Is this Donkey Kong?
99 cents.
Is it from Roboto?
From
Yeah,
RO.
please be from. Yes, dude, you gotta say it like it is. Roboto, yeah.
It says RO, so I'm just gonna call him.
No,
RO.
it's Roboto, yeah. If he's gonna super chat, you better say it right.
I'll say it the way I want to say it.
What else do you expect? Just because the prices are high, that doesn't mean you're not gonna eat Billy Dogs. Nico, I'm calling you. Okay, we achieved the goal. Thank you so much for the donations. We'll actually start another super chat goal. And, you know what? I'll also be giving away some memberships. So, Roboto... Nico! Good to see ya. Is Soshi here? Yes, he is. Okay, how do you... I'm gonna figure out how to send...
Alright, guys. Well, Nick, unfortunately, I have to go to bed, but I want to get your quick thoughts on the games that you saw today.
Big hype. Obviously, I was expecting Mario Kart first. Was not disappointed at all. My brother and I, first thing this morning we did, even though I didn't go to work, I woke up and I immediately just tuned into the Direct, and I was hoping we'd get Mario Kart first. Absolutely blown away. My expectations have been exceeded. And even that's an understatement.
How do you feel about the people who said that Mario Kart peaked with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and what could they possibly do?
Oh, come on. We all knew it never did. Mario Kart 8 is great and all, but like, come on. We all knew for a long time we could do so much more, and even other kart races have shown that.
DJ2, thank you for the donation. What series do you think will get revived on the Switch too? Mario Paint or Mario Artist? That'd be a pretty cool thing. What series has not been revived on this? Well, we got the revival of Donkey Kong, if that counts.
Well, yeah, Nick, what's your opinion on Donkey Kong Bonanza, the arguably best game reveal in this Direct?
I was very taken aback. I was very skeptical on what, maybe they could do with Donkey Kong if they were planning something. I was thinking, surely Returns HD is just like a holdover for something, and I know everyone was speculating about the new design for DK going forward. And I knew deep down, if they did make a new game, they're probably making all this new artwork to introduce us to his new model and design, starting with, Mario Kart World. But, honestly, I think the game looks great. Like, this is very specific, but if you know the canceled Pac-Man World 2010, that is the exact vibe I'm getting from this, and I don't mean that in a negative way.
I see what you mean, yeah.
Like, it's so out of left field, but it still feels like Donkey Kong. Like, even though it's very weird and it's gonna take some time to get used to, I'm not upset at all. Like, I could care less about his model. The fact that the game looks this good and promising is just wow. And it's
I love his
3D.
model.
It's 3D.
Yeah.
Having it be
I think-
3D?
Expecting maybe something from Retro Studios, but no, looks like I think it might be EPD too.
I think it is EPD. I think DK has never, in my opinion, I think DK has never looked better. I think he's the most expressive that he's ever been. I think this redesign was necessary. Man, and it just makes me like, whenever I play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or Donkey Kong, I just think he's ugly.
It's funny because I actually did look the original artist, Kevin, I don't know his last name, for Rare. He did actually approve of the new design, saying that, yeah, he does kind of regret giving him the Battletoad brow, just because it was kind of a thing from the era, because now it does make him look constantly angry. Reminds me of a certain hedgehog and his brow. But I think I'm getting used to it. I don't think it's a perfect design. I think it's kind of weird because I kind of canonize that as young Cranky. So if I were to redesign any character, I would have redesigned Cranky to look a little less Battletoad browish. But I think DK the Third or Junior, whatever you fall in line with, I think his design looks fine, and I love the way he's animated though. That was amazing. And of course, I knew this was coming. The movie is clearly doing an influence on the characters now.
I think this design was in the works for a while, and I think the movie was just our first time seeing it. But that could very well be the case too, though.
Speaking of GameCube,
the same thing happened with Sonic. Because remember the whole blue energy thing, and then that started to bleed into the games.
Yeah, for sure. It could very well be that as well. I just thought
I'm
it
not
was
saying it's a
interesting.
good or a bad thing. It's just a change. That's it. It's just an addition. It's neither
Oh, for sure.
that deep, but it's just clearly something from the movies that's carrying over. But I don't think it's meant to be looked at that deeply. It's just like, oh, hey, look, it's kind of gonna be a
Well,
recurring theme.
Dosney Gaming was
I'm
asking, what do I think of the UI being the same? Not a good thing. I mean,
No.
it's snappy, but at the same time, it has no personality.
I
It's
just
like,
hope eShop load times are better.
True.
I was gonna say, there's a question about, what do you think of the GameCube pack? F-Zero GX!
Ooh.
That's all you need to know. Actually, I'm gonna
I
start a
admit it.
super chat goal for the GameCube controller
thought
for
of
Nintendo
you.
Switch 2.
I thought of you this morning when I saw F-Zero GX. I'm like, okay, fine, Dimitri. I'll play it.
If you guys think that Mario Kart World is big, I knew Mario Kart was gonna happen, and I also contained my composure a little bit, probably because I was still kind of waking up. But F-Zero, I literally jumped out of my chair when I heard the. That was not a good GameCube rendition, but man, F-Zero GX. If you guys have never played it, it is one of the best kart racing games of all time. Mario Kart World might overtake it, but still. Man, it is just intense. I really want to do
Alright,
a
guys.
review of F-Zero. But peace out, old boy. Oh, and also, before
Peace out,
TND
guys.
leaves, remind him that he's still going to eat the Billy Dogs, and he's going to eat them like he's supposed to. He's not going to wimp out and be like, oh, I'll eat them my way. I'll eat them my way. Talking about putting mayo-flavored Lay's
Well-
on a Vienna sausage.
well,
You're going to
in-
put the
in
mayo
honor-
on it and let it ferment.
In honor of the Switch 2 itself, we have to buy $80 ingredients for each of the ingredients for the Billy Dogs.
Ugh.
So $80 hot dogs, $80 mayo, and $80 Twinkies.
Sounds like an
Not
episode
only-
of 2 Chainz, the most expensive.
So not only is your dignity going down the drain, but so is your wallet funds.
My wallet funds have been going down.
Hey,
the drain.
he would keep his
It's like
dignity.
work. No, I wouldn't. But have a good night, y'all. We shall talk more Donkey Kong and Mario Kart and Nintendo Switch 2 another day.
Oh no, yeah, of course. I got to work tomorrow as well. It's fine.
Yeah, it's an endless cycle. But anyways,
But at the
guys,
same time, we got to grind if we're gonna get that Switch too, right?
yeah, I got. Ah, God. I hope my credit card takes the pre-order. Anyways, have a great night, guys.
Of course, of course.
But yeah, looks like it's just you and me, Nico.
Yep, and I still got plenty of saying on the Switch 2 and that Direct today.
We had
Because
a whole
boy, has it been a lot to process.
we had a whole discussion about the $80 games. It's not a good thing. Anyone who's defending it is probably Fumar crack.
Well, it's probably because they can afford crack to begin with.
Can you imagine how much crack you could get for the cost of Switch 2 games? Probably a lot of crack.
Yeah, because it sold well in the 80s.
Ah, yes, the crack sold well in the 80s. Crack! Also, I noticed that the Piranha Plant item isn't returning unless it's a special item.
Actually, I didn't know that special items were returning. I didn't know everything about everything because, like, wow, there's just so much to process. But I didn't hear certain things about the games. I just learned about the cranky thing too as well. So I'll probably look at that later.
Yeah, I wonder if Diddy Kong's gonna appear because, I mean, he hasn't been in Mario Party Jamboree, he's not in Mario Kart World, he's not so far in Donkey Kong Bonanza. You think he's in jail? Oh wait, wrong Diddy.
Well, considering the other Luigi, I wouldn't say it's far-fetched.
That's why we didn't see Luigi's Mansion. Luigi is currently on trial. And he's going to become a ghost if he gets a death penalty.
Unfortunately.
We need to see if physical games are going to be $90 when pre-orders start. But I will say this, in terms of pre-orders, did you hear that Nintendo is going to prioritize Nintendo Switch Online members and those who have high play times? So actual Nintendo fans are going to be able to pre-order and get priority?
I honestly think that's kind of fair.
That's great.
Yeah, you know, it's like a loyalty thing. That's like, come on, that's bare minimum.
I'm going to start a new Super Chat goal. Get the GameCube controller.
Oh my god, I'm still excited about GameCube games online because, as you know, my GameCube has been kaput for like 4 years and it is a travesty. Plus, it's also going to be nice to have GameCube online because...
Oh, hell yeah.
Unfortunately, you know what we're going to talk about. Scalping.
Scalpers suck. The Monkey Paw Curl's new Mario Kart, but at what cost? Don't be poor, Demeech. Okay, I didn't know that Fudakawa was in the chat.
I thought the joke was going to be a monkey's paw about Donkey Kong. But,
Kong's Paw.
I guess you missed the punchline there. Missed opportunity.
Oh, thank you, Brian, for the donation once again. Super kind of you. Helping a gator get a GameCube controller. Asking Nintendo to sell us the retro games is like asking Sega to remake Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 and Unleashed. It will never happen. Never say never, considering what we got in this Nintendo Direct. Anything's possible. Sometimes good, sometimes bad.
Besides, Sonic Unleashed got decompiled, so go play it.
Definitely more of a Mario fan.
No, yeah, of course. I'm just saying for that question in particular, anything's possible.
People will not forget about this. People are not going to forget about this. I still remember what happened with the Nintendo 3DS. And you guys, if you don't know the story, I'm going to just try to get the video out tomorrow. It might be hard to just... I've already done 2 videos and a stream. I could probably do another video.
I'd say just in case, like, make that video that you're making, make it like a really good one to like be a end-all be-all of this discussion. To like just give everyone the facts straight, whilst, you know, making sure it's not getting too repetitive.
Right. I don't want the same thing to happen what happened with... Okay, with Nintendo Switch Sports, when I made that review, I actually think it's the best video I've made in terms of, like, retrospectives of bad games. It's very hard to choose between the Rise and Fall of Pac-Man and the Nintendo Switch Sports review, which one's my favorite. For you, I'm sure it's the Rise and Fall of Pac-Man, since that's a more fun documentary-style video. And we got Tim Christ.
Oh, no, yeah, absolutely. So, I might have big personal bias, but I can see where you're coming from with the Switch Sports, just because that was kind of a breaking point era.
And then we got Mario Strikers. I will admit, I probably talked about those games too much, and I don't want to repeat that same mistake with the prices, but yeah, I'm going to talk about it. A lot of Nintendo YouTubers, you know, since we're all Nintendo fans, it's just like not a lot of them want to critique Nintendo, and that's totally fine, but for me at least, that's kind of what separates me. And I know Sir Musty was asking me, why'd I do it when Scott the Woz is someone who gives criticism but isn't like hard about it like you are? And I'm like, I don't want to be Scott the Woz. I love Scott the Woz's content, but I'm me. Scott the Woz is Scott the Woz. We're different. That's what makes YouTube channels unique.
No, yeah, it's perfectly valid. Not everyone has to be putting on that super chipper persona all the time. You know,
And Scott the Waz's
Sometimes you just have
criticisms
to-
are real good.
you just have to put it the way it is.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta do it, and I know with some of my mistakes, I think it's just talking about it too much. With the games like Pokemon, Mario Strikers, Switch Sports, I don't redact anything I said, all those games are terrible. And I still stand by the prices, nothing's good about it. At least with those games, it can be kind of subjective, you might even think they're mid, but with the pricing, nothing good about it. But you know what? As the blow of the pricing is just kind of settling in, I'm still very excited for the games. It is a very exciting time to be a Nintendo fan. But I am concerned that this could set a bad precedent going forward. And I think it's going to change. And if not, maybe Walmart will price the games lower. They've done it before.
I hope so.
There's a solution to most problems.
A gun.
The worst part of the Switch 2 UI is that Mii's are still locked in settings. That app they showed, Welcome to Nintendo Switch 2, it, first of all, going back to the price, it should have been free, but also it just had some cool ideas, but man, it really needed Mii's. How would you feel?
Oh.
It's funny because with my face here, I can't read some of the chats. I hate to seem like a jerk, but it seems like most of the games they announce are just Switch 1 games, and that's a real breaker since every game is $90. Not every game is $90. It's only Mario Kart, apparently, physically. But if games are $80 physically, that's going to be a problem. None of them look like Switch 1 games, though. You definitely see a difference with something like Mario Kart World compared to 8 Deluxe. Especially, do you think that Nintendo made the Booster Course Pass tracks look this way to make Mario Kart World look so much better in comparison?
I don't think so. I think it's just a carryover from A, porting over mobile assets, and B, because there's clearly a huge contrast in like certain stages. Like I look at N64 Choco Mountain, and then I look at Waluigi Stadium, and it's like, what do I want? I want to eat the dirt from Waluigi Stadium. I don't know why. Why does one look so much better than the other?
It looks like chocolate
I don't know,
ice cream. Meanwhile, Choco
really
Mountain
does.
looks like in Choco Mountain there should be an obstacle that sings opera to you and like sweet corn.
Funny, I just had chocolate ice cream, so
The best kind of chocolate ice cream is the kind with almonds. That makes it even better.
I'm actually an almond enjoyer. I like almond in my chocolate, so you know what? That's a base point right there.
It's the way to go. I don't think
Exactly,
online's
it's the
going up in
extra
price, but it's exclusive to Nintendo Switch 2. Mario Kart would be kind of... No, it doesn't look AI. That artwork goes hard. Real hard.
No, guys, not everything is AI, okay? Just because something says AI does not mean it's AI generated. I think we gotta clear that up, you know? There's like AI upscaling and AI tools, but it's obviously not generated.
A guy on the Switch 2 Reddit said he thinks that Nintendo is intentionally overpricing Mario Kart to sell the cheaper Switch 2 bundle. Wouldn't people get the bundle regardless?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Riders
We're
DX,
probably gonna
where
get it.
is... I didn't know you were British. Just keeps on messaging me. Alright. Oh wow. I'm starting to get tired, but that's okay. Sleep is for the weak.
Yeah.
Riders DX, would you like to join the chat? We might be wrapping things up soon. We'll continue for a little bit as long as we get those super chats coming in. And it'll help me get that GameCube controller. You know what? I got something really cool to show you guys after this round. And it's not what you'd expect. And also, hey, there's the penguin who's a playable character in Mario Kart. Do you think that Pauly Shore is going to be playable in Mario Kart World.
His special item will be skiddy, skiddy, skiddy.
Just imagine, you know how the horns in Mario Kart, they make different sound effects? Like the one for Kamek is the Yoshi's Island thing. Imagine Pauly Shore as a character. You use the horn. Skiddy, skiddy, skiddy. Father, when can I leave to be on my own? I looked up the prices for Pinocchio, A True Story, the DVD on eBay. You could get 5 DVDs of Pinocchio, A True Story and still have $5 left for the cost of Mario Kart 9. Oh, thank you, Riders DX, for the donation. But really, the best donation would be the donation of your time. I'll sing a little bit of Taylor Swift for the donation. The haters gonna hate, 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 hate. Shake it off, shake it off. I sing about men. That's all I sing about. Now I'm Pauly Shore. Yes! Actually, I don't know. That wouldn't make sense for Pauly Shore. Just the voice. It's funny. Come on, Riders DX. Join and talk about the prices. You're the only one who hasn't talked about it yet. Hey, he's joining. We're gonna have the man, the myth, the Swifty himself, Riders DX, join. If only Reese were here, but I invited him. And he's working on videos. Being a Nintendo YouTuber myself, I don't blame him in the least bit. But, Reese, you are currently in spirit. Here, I'll bring Reese, or if Cappy just was Reese. Hey guys, welcome back to another video about Paper Mario. Just like you, Reese has a golden voice. But here's what I'm going to show you guys. I got a package in the mail, and I kid you not, it's a Nintendo Switch 2 case.
What?
Yeah, I literally got a Nintendo Switch 2 case before the Nintendo Switch 2 even released. If you want to get one for yourself, it's from Tom Talk. I will be bringing this to the Nintendo Switch 2 event. So that was part of the agreement. But yes, this is the case right here. Really high quality.
Oh.
When you can do that with a case and not squish it like SpongeBob, you can squish it like SpongeBob, you know this is a high quality case. And as you can see, it's big. It'll also fit a regular Switch just fine. So if you want to just skidee, 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 and go on a trip, bring your Switch, no problem. Fits in perfectly. Shout out to Tom Talk for giving me the Nintendo Switch 2 case. And I will be featuring it in my videos for the Nintendo Switch 2 experience. I did hear about that. How would you feel if we got a Lego video game this year and Super Mario Maker 3D this year? I don't think we're gonna get anything 3D, whether it's a 3D Maker or 3D Mario. Nintegodario, good to see ya! It's always nice to see Nintegodario. He makes some of the poses for the renders on the channel. He made the intro. BitWizard is the one who made the avatar, but Nintegodario is super talented, and he's a huge fan of VeggieTales, and he made a great meme about Nintendo Direct. So go check Nintegodario out if you haven't. With the new Switch 2 camera, Nintendo can spy on you. Wow, I got Mark Zuckerberg, and now I can also get Nintendo. I'm sure Furukawa would love to see me snoring.
No, yeah, I did see the new intro for the opening of the video today. I think it was really good.
I want it to be something special, something cool, something that makes the channel stand out. I took a little bit of a hiatus, so when I came back, I wanted to come back hard.
No, yeah, it looks great. I love the presentation. I think we're in the era where everyone's trying to do better on presentation.
I mean, I talk about presentations and games a lot, so I might as well make my own good.
Exactly.
Did you know that there's a gold shell in Mario Kart World? From Mario Kart Arcade Grand Prix?
Didn't know that.
Yeah, it's interesting seeing that there's... I don't know what the gold shell is. Maybe it's like the one from Mario Kart Arcade Grand Prix, where it acts like the black shell, which acts as a bomb shell. Bomb Koopa shell from Super Mario Land. It's funny you got some ads. But hey, the ads help the channel. Always remember that the ads and super chats will help me get the Switch 2 and the GameCube controller. I will definitely be getting that GameCube controller, regardless.
I still find it amusing how, after all this time, the GameCube controller refuses to die.
It doesn't need to, because it's peak. I'm going to add Riders DX. He said he was getting on his PC, but I'm going to call him anyway. So let's see if he's here. Oh! A lot of people would prefer 3D Donkey Kong.
Valid.
Mario Maker 3 would have been really cool to see. I don't know if Riders DX is going to join. Not sure how many more rounds we should do, because it's 11:34. Send in some more super chats. We're getting close to $40. We're at $36.93. I believe the GameCube controller is going to be $50, so we're not far off. We just need 15 more. Skadee, skadee, skadee. So we're not.
Shut up.
Oh! I summoned you!
Why,
You did
hello,
summon me.
Ryder.
Mario Maker
Hey,
3
Nick,
would be a good
interesting
idea
to see
for
what
the
this guy
anniversary.
thinks.
Look how
Yes,
Riders
yes,
DX
it
just skadeed into the chat.
This is very surreal considering I've watched you for many years and yet now here I am talking with you casually as if nothing.
Wow. Well, yes, I am Riders DX. You know, I have ascended from the heavens just for this stream.
Kind of reminds me of
Thank
when I
you.
met
I
Riders
feel
DX
so
for the
blessed.
first time.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you just gotta like make sure you stay connected with the lowly dwellers like Dimitri. So, you gotta make visits every now and then.
Thanks.
How
Who
very-
else would I
how
have in
very
my
gentle.
basement? Actually, it's not my basement. It's a combined basement of me and Charles Perallo, Pole Boy. So, let's address the elephant in the room first, because we've all been talking about it. What do you think of the prices? Are you going to get the Switch 2 at launch?
Probably.
How do you feel about
It
the
seems like cheaper to get it with the bundle than like the separate Mario Kart game, and yeah, that price is absolutely terrible. I don't understand what's going on with that. Well, I guess I do. It's called money.
It's called greed.
It's called, well, I call it inflation in more ways than one. Wait till the
Mr.
calories
Krabs
stop
taking
adding up
over
in his
Nintendo, I'm
waistline.
thinking.
If Soshi is still
I just
watching,
am like,
he knows what that reference was for.
I'm just like kind of surprised that Nintendo is the one doing it. Like, they're usually the company known for like pricing things slightly lower compared to everyone else. So
Yeah, their new CEO
this is
sucks.
kind of-
Even though the game output's been
It's-
stellar, their new CEO is greedy. He worked for the Pokemon Company. What do you expect? Actually, he's not even new anymore. He's been a CEO for 7 years. I hope Furukawa, if he keeps this up, he's
You know-
skadee out of here.
you
So
gotta be
let's see.
careful. You know, you never know if another Luigi is going to pop up.
Not that kind
Maybe
of
that's
CEO.
why they didn't announce Luigi's Mansion.
That was a dark joke. I was not expecting that from you. No, in terms of like,
Well, I don't know. I only joked about it because you joked about that for a while.
yeah, Brian Thompson,
Well,
not
I get-
Furukawa.
Well,
You got
I
the
guess
wrong-
Riders, if
you got
I
the wrong-
expected anyone to
you got
make
the wrong
twisted
CEO.
humor, it'd be you.
You gotta strategically pick when to make those kind of jokes.
Reminds me of a certain song that mentioned that, but I don't know. I don't know if you happen to listen to those niche pop songs.
Oh, Jack Attack has a great question here. If Taylor Swift and Chappell Roan were on a soundtrack, would the $90 be justified? Why, yes, it would be. Taylor Swift costs a hefty penny, so everyone would just have to deal with it.
I'd say it would be a miracle if that was real, that was the price.
Well, you know, I feel like Fortnite is begging for Taylor Swift, but Taylor Swift charges too much, so.
Thank you for the donation.
Hello, Will.
Thank you, Will Gaming. Yeah, did you guys see that Yoshi's not Crafted World, Woolly World is coming to Nintendo Switch? That was accidentally revealed.
Oh,
It is?
Yeah.
That I did hear about.
Why didn't they show it in that Nintendo Direct is beyond me. That's weird. That would have been a perfect game to have in it.
Well, at least I get to try it now.
Great game.
Why
Although
is
I do
that
prefer
Dust
Crafted
game like
World.
near the end?
It
Why is
wasn't
that like Dust game near the end exclusive to the Switch too? What a what a random game to make exclusive.
I don't know if it's exclusive. It'll work on both.
I read it was exclusive. Maybe they were saying something wrong.
Nothing would be exclusive to Switch 1. Except for games that use the leg strap or Labo. Apparently the leg strap won't be compatible. I don't necessarily believe that. It might not be a perfect fit, but I could see it still working.
Oh, but what
I
would
see
the
someone
Switch
mention,
do without the leg strap?
Someone mentioned in the chat Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Well, they were asking if you want to play it, but I just wanted to bring to your attention that the Sonic Twitter account / Instagram account posted a message today saying like, well, there's room for more than one racer, but there's only one racer you can play on all platforms.
If I were Sega, you know what I would have just tweeted? $60.
Oh,
And then that would call it a day.
you know what? That would be a good one.
That's the only thing I'm willing to give
80
Sonic
bucks.
Racing Crossworlds. It's Woolly World, alright.
I don't even think Sonic Racing Crossworlds would be $60. I think it might be like 50, just based off of like, I think Team Sonic Racing was $40, so that's why I don't know if they'll fully price it. But yeah, $80 for a game is crazy. We are just getting to $70.
Yes, $70. Okay, I don't like it, but at least it's tolerable. But that is really pushing it. It's bad. Real bad.
And then potentially 90 for physical. Oh, makes my stomach queasy just thinking about it.
One of the worst parts about it is just that it completely got rid of some of the hype. And it's unfortunate, too.
Can't even game in this economy.
I don't know. We might be getting another Wii U.
I don't think it's going to be like the Wii U, because unfortunately with the Wii U, it did not have a good idea with the gamepad. It was confusing to consumers, and also it was expensive, but even with a price cut, it couldn't do well. Switch 2 has a great idea. It has a good lineup of games, and also, it's like, really the only problem is the prices. That's it.
I don't
And
know.
also things like the UI, but the UI
know-
in the grand scheme of things ain't that big of a deal.
Well, you know, as you know, I do love to use Chinese malware. So I was on TikTok earlier today, and I came across a TikTok of someone that's saying like, why am I going to get a Switch 2? I already have a Switch. So I feel like that's something that they need to navigate very carefully. A lot of people are just going to think this is just another Switch, which it is.
Samsung CEO sucks too. They got rid of the micro SD card and headphone jack. If I wanted an iPhone, I'd get an iPhone.
I thought there was an audio jack.
Not anymore.
Nope.
Oh, maybe it was in the
not-
controller.
You an iPhone
No,
guy,
yeah,
Nick?
it was.
Or your Android? Actually, you know what? Anton, you're more than welcome to join. We need some Canadian flavor with the prices, because, oh man, if you thought it was bad for us Yankees, it's probably worse for the Canadians, eh? You want to join? I'll add you to the call. If not, cool to see you here.
Oh, it would be nice to speak to Anton again.
Could you imagine how many
Still
ketchup lays you could buy?
expensive.
Man, considering the prices, I guarantee you a lot of fans of the Nintendo Switch, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna skidee away from the Switch too.
They're gonna skedaddle.
Yeah, well, skidee is what he said when he was running. And he's like, let's go, Tybalt! Great adventures await! Skidee.
Now, did you see how Mario Kart World is copying Sonic?
He copied me.
Yeah. They have rail grinding now. Tisk, tisk,
I
tisk.
knew
I
you were
kind of
gonna say
noticed
that.
it reminded me of Sonic. The only thing I'd like that game to remind me of Sonic is the price.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Nintendo taking a page out of Sonic's book. You know, you can't blame them. Rail grinding is fun.
Only pricing is what they should take from Sonic. It's not
The
Skibidi.
only grinding we're
I'm
gonna
an
be doing
old
is
Zoomer, not
grinding on
Alpha.
the job.
Now it's time to add the Canadian to the chat. My favorite Canadian, Anton. Anton's Canadian.
Hell yeah.
Take me to
My
Canada.
favorite Canadian, Hollywood Justin.
Guys.
Hey!
Hello, Anton Retro. Good to see you
Yeah,
again.
long time no see.
Roboto, yeah. Rob just said yeah in the chat. Roboto, yeah.
Roboto, yeah.
So how was that direct?
The direct was outstanding, but you know
Oh, yeah,
the
for
prices.
sure.
Okay, the best way to describe the best way to describe it. I actually thought of two, but one of them I like to keep the streams PG-13. The example I'm going to use is it's like the most beautiful Sunday you could ever imagine in that Nintendo Direct. Well, maybe not the most beautiful, but still a very beautiful one. If we're talking the beautiful Sunday with edible gold, that was the June 2023 Nintendo Direct.
Oh,
But
yeah.
this one, the Direct was a beautiful Sunday, and the pricing was crapping on the Sunday. Sure, there's still the Sunday, but there's crap on it.
Yeah, I thought I thought it was a really really good direct. I don't think we've seen one like that for a very long time. I mean, they kind of had to wow us here. I just think like after looking at the prices, I was like, oh, right, like it did sour it a lot. It's in one way, like, you know, maybe Mario Kart 9 being the price of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, that could have been something they do. I'd been okay with that. I think just going above that is a bit
It's
weird.
extreme.
I think they should have. They, you know, I think they've seen, oh, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sold so well, we can just charge whatever we want for it. But I think that's where they're gonna lose some people. I think that's the problem. The game was quite accessible to a lot of people, and that's why it sold so well. So I hope that Nintendo doesn't see that as like, oh, we can charge more because more people like the game. But I don't know. I don't know about that, because it doesn't work for older franchises, right? Some games don't do as well, but I guess they see it as like a really hot item, so they're like, okay, it's just
Rampant,
I mean,
we went-
check out the price.
Rampant, we went to Canada for this stream, and we brought back Anton Retro. You know what those prices
Yeah.
are? They are 100% factually
Invalid. They're invalid for sure.
Invalid.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Like that week that comes out. I mean, the system is I think it's 630 Canadian dollars for it.
What's the conversion
Which is,
rate from Canadian dollars to USD? Because over here in the good old US of A, it's 450.
Yeah, it's 1 Canadian dollar is worth 70 US cents. So it's quite low right now. It's be better, but that conversion rate is not great.
Oh, hey
I
Melissa,
wonder
how
how
are
much it
you?
is in euros.
What the hell happened there?
But
Did you see that? I glitched through the bridge.
But I do want to. I'm definitely gonna get it because I'm glad it's coming out the day that it is, because I'm actually able to get it before I go on a vacation. So I'm very lucky because I leave on the
Nice.
8th, so I'm able to get it. Hopefully, I'm just deciding should I get it. Should I order it at Best Buy or GameStop? I'm thinking GameStop because I usually go there and it's pretty close. So I might just do that.
How about try
Um,
Zellers?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I tried the Hudson's Bay. They definitely exist as well right now. I'm
I'm gonna
bankrupt.
just buy the Switch 2 bundle. So I'm
Everybody
not technically
is gonna do
supporting the
that.
price.
I don't know. You know what they say about digital games, and by you know what they say, it's the same kind of you know
All
what they
toasters.
say. All toasters toast toast. I mean, who says that? Have you ever heard
I don't know.
anybody
I just
say
feel
all
like,
toasters toast toast before Hotel Mario? I've never heard anyone say that.
Should I quote the one Cinema Sins parody video? No, they do not. They toast bread.
That was Screw Attack, I think.
We,
He said the same thing.
but yes, we are the problem for buying it, and to be honest, we're still gonna buy it.
I know.
Here's
A
the
part of me is
thing.
like, oh, should I actually buy it? Do I really need it? I think the biggest problem that they're gonna find though is many people are gonna be like, I don't need Mario Kart World. I already have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And I think that's a problem that they're gonna face, right? A lot of
casual
people.
gamers. might
Yeah,
think that.
I think that's a big problem they're gonna run into. A lot of
Yeah.
casuals, they're not gonna
I
be
was
too
just
interested.
telling Demish that I was on the Chinese malware TikTok earlier today, and I came across a couple TikToks of people saying why am I going to buy a Switch 2? I already got a Switch. I think a lot of casual people won't be able to see the difference.
Yeah, especially if for someone who already has a system or a kid that has a system, they're not gonna, probably not gonna get the new system for a long time. I think the only people that are really going to get this thing as of right now are people who don't have a Switch at all. I think that's the best market that they can have, people that say we're a little bit iffy
Aqua Twist
and
is
waiting
based.
until the system got better. So I think
Well-
they're gonna have that as a main selling point. But if you got the OLED not too long ago, I don't think, some people might trade for it or something.
Here's the thing, and a lot of people don't think about this, considering that they mainly just think of their circumstances and how they're a Nintendo fan. Parents aren't going to be happy with this. You know the saying, we already got
yeah.
Mario Kart at home? It's very much going to be a situation
Yeah.
like that where it's going to be a hard sell for parents and also casuals. That's why Pokemon games sell as well as they do. I mean, obviously the games, compared to Xenoblade, they're crap. Or really compared to anything.
Yeah.
They're absolute crap. But they sell so well because of the casuals.
They see
People who are
Pokemon, oh, it's
casuals...
nostalgic, and they just get it.
Yeah, but at what cost would people get a Nintendo Switch 2 and Mario Kart World at? You look on the shelves and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and the Switch will still be there. What are you going to choose if you're a casual? You want to play Mario Kart? And if you already have a Switch and you're a casual, you're not going to be as invested as us Nintendo fans would be. You're not going to be. So at the end of the day, it's going to be a very hard sell to casuals and parents, and not having that demographic.
Yeah.
I could easily see another 3DS situation on our hands where Nintendo might have to lower the prices, and I would say if they're going to lower the prices, they should do it after seeing the backlash. That way it can all just be a
Now-
funny memory that we look back on and what were they thinking?
Yeah, I mean,
I
I'm just
hope
looking
so.
here at the PlayStation 5 price. That's in Canadian dollars. That's $650. So they're kind of targeting a similar price.
Yet again,
And
the
this is
games
the model with the disc drive, right? So
nobody's
they're
really
trying to target a similar thing.
Nobody's really that worried about the price of the Nintendo Switch 2 itself. It might be a little more expensive than people wanted. They're really just mad about the price of the games. If Donkey Kong...
I think that game was a mistake for pricing it that, and also that tech demo game. That should be I'm hoping that's really
That should be-
cheap, because if it's
That-
$50.
That should be free, honestly,
That
because
really
to me
should,
it kind of
yeah.
reminds me of the Astrobot game that Sony had, and that was free. It came with the system. Like,
Yeah,
why
this
would I
feels
buy
like-
that?
Yeah, this feels like more like a
At least,
like
like,
an operating
you need
system
it or
kind of
something.
thing.
The Nintendo
Right? Like
3DS
it feels
when
like
that
something
launched,
that you boot up the system and it teaches you about it before you start playing games. Like that's how I'd imagine it. Not like, oh, you have to buy this. Like I don't imagine how many people are actually gonna really buy that at the end of the
Yeah,
day.
why the hell would I buy that? It's
Yeah, I mean, it seems kind of interesting. I mean, if it's like, if it's maybe, $5 to $10, maybe I'd take a look at it, take a look at it for a bit as like an introduction thing. But other than that, though, yeah, I'm not really sure why it isn't free. It should just be something that comes with the system. I know Nintendo likes to sell older software, but that's kind of bordering on a game. So I'm not really sure about that.
imagine if Nintendo
is
was daft enough to sell Face Raiders or AR games on the 3DS
Yeah.
while overcharging for it.
That I find funny is like there were so many games that they included on their past systems. Like even something like Flipnote, that was like a free
Oh,
thing
Flipnote was
that
the
you got with
best.
the DSi.
That's a
XL,
system
right?
seller right there. And that was a free app.
Yeah. I do wonder maybe if they'll include it with some systems, but it doesn't look like they're gonna do that. It's so strange. It's so weird. Yeah, like, and I mean, we didn't even get really any information about gold points or what's gonna happen to that stuff.
Oh, they're dead.
Like, if there's some new system preceding that. In fact, they didn't really touch the eShop at all, or the menu. I mean, we got some looks at it. It looks kind of largely the same. But they didn't really touch anything upon that. So, I don't know, maybe there's some things they still have yet to talk about fully. Or they just won't for whatever reason. But yeah, it's strange. That should be free game. Or software.
You
Probably a
know
better word
what,
to use.
Rampant? I would say that the backlash is larger than that of Federation Force or Color Splash. Because with those games, it was mainly backlash within those communities, and then the grand scheme of things at the time, the Nintendo fanbase was much smaller than it is now. But with this,
Yeah.
we literally just got
It
the most
just affects
anticipated
everyone.
Nintendo Direct, and then they hit us with that. What about
this
robot
doesn't just
wheelchair
affect
basketball? It's a really cool concept and looks like it has fun gameplay, but with the most boring presentation. It's all gray.
I forgot about that game. It honestly looks really
Yeah.
boring.
It would be cool if they had fun characters. I mean, even ARMS, despite its gameplay being basic, it had fun characters. It just does not look
Like,
like
I was
a
wondering-
Nintendo production.
I was like, I was wondering if that was gonna be like a Switch Sports kind of thing, but that's like literally the only game.
Oh, the Dragon Drive? It kind of looks
Yeah.
interesting. I mean, I wouldn't write it off immediately. Like, I do want to see a little bit more of it in order to get a full idea. Because if it doesn't have much content at all, I think that'd be really disappointing. But I do like the concept of it. I think it's it's a very Nintendo idea. It's just that I would like to see more of what the actual game is instead of it being like, oh, it's just a mode. Because it looks like just a mode is part of a minigame collection right now. And I'm a bit worried about that. So I hope we see a bit more about it. But it seems
Yeah.
interesting. I commend them for doing something unique and interesting, right? And a new
I guess
IP,
I'll give
I
them
guess. So
I will say it does look unique, but it does not look interesting to me.
yeah, I'm just worried about how much content there is with a game like that. Like even with ARMS, I know I didn't have a lot of stuff or any of the Mario Sports games. There was a lot that they did with those games. Still, even if they were a bit overpriced, there was still quite a bit of modes and stuff. But this game seems a little basic. But we'll probably see more about it anyways.
Oh, you know
sure
what
they
I
can
say
develop
though?
a full
One game I'm like really excited for that I keep forgetting about, but like when I remember it,
Oh,
I'm
you're
like,
so
that's gonna
excited
be
you
so
keep on
good.
forgetting about it.
Yeah, Kirby Air Riders. That looks so.
Oh.
Yeah.
I actually brought you up in the review of the Direct I did, and I said I'm sure Riders DX will love this.
Oh yes.
Could you imagine?
Kirby
I've
Air
always
Riders.
wanted to
Would
play the
be-
original, but I never got to.
at the beginning.
Could you just imagine
Yeah, I
if you converted
played
your
that bit, the
channel?
original a little bit.
Could you imagine if you converted your channel into a Kirby Air Riders channel? Imagine,
Kirby Air Riders DX.
Yeah.
you should
I
do.
mean, yeah, it's like
well, you
honestly,
got-
like I'm definitely giving that one a shot. It looks like a lot. I've always wanted to play the original. I will have to one day.
If you want one of
I
those
will admit
handhelds,
that was not on my bingo card, but I was
Yeah, me
pleasantly
neither.
surprised.
It was the
Yeah.
last thing I would have expected.
I
I'm
was
glad
a
to
little
see it.
afraid for a moment that it was Smash because I was like, oh no, Kirby survived the Star Run. But then it was
It
like,
Yeah.
did look like a special second.
I'm glad
Like,
it's
First,
not
I was
Smash.
like, you know, I was like,
The
is it
lighting really
Kirby?
gave
Is
off
it
time.
Mario? Is it Smash Bros? I was kind of like trying to figure out between what it was, and then they finally revealed it. And then I like how they put a touch there with the Masahiro Sakurai because that's what he's been working on for all this time.
You know,
Just
I'm
yeah.
honestly
see that he's
happy
not
it's
just
not
locked to Smash
Smash, and that
Bros.
comes down to, you know, just like, to be real, the fan base kind of tainted Smash for me a little bit, but also I feel like Smash Ultimate was so oversaturated. I wasn't really looking forward to a repeat of that, just where that's all Nintendo fans would talk about. Smash Ultimate's a
Now I
great
have
game.
actually, yeah, I was just wondering something, right? I think someone brought this up. I seen that. What if they did a Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and include like another Fighters Pass or something?
You know, that
What if they
could
did that?
the Switch 2 editions could cause similar problems to the Wii U ports. But hey, at least we won't be missing out on Mario Kart and Donkey Kong this time.
Yeah, I mean, as long
That's
as they're
true.
like supplementary, which they seem to be as of right now, they don't seem to be taking up like major slots, which I
Yeah.
like. As long as they're just like every once in a while, like I wouldn't mind if even in a direct there's like a little segment of just a bunch of games. Because I do think it's a really great idea that they're doing this. I mean, it gives games more content that even if they're a bit older, they get something a little new. And they just look amazing. I think Kirby and the Forgotten Land, that's what I'm really happy about because you could see them in the background. The enemies were they were like half the frame rate and it looked weird. And then then there's there's the pay one, then there's the free updates, and I'm very curious to see what they do with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. They make them run properly as intended.
It was
I'm curious
rumored
to see how they do that.
if we can get Rainbow Road, that's going to be the final round. But
I agree.
all right, who should I play as? Let's play
Oh,
as
good
Donkey
great.
Kong. Let's give his final original design a good send off. But the thing
No, yeah,
is,
that's
or
exactly
actually,
what I
actually
was
since
thinking.
Yeah.
they're the planes, I want to change the cart to have the plane glider. When someone brought up Nintendo's biggest controversies before the prices, I would say that the ones I think about the most, Metroid Prime Federation Force was a biggie. Also, the issues with supply of Amiibo and the NES Classic Edition, that was more just bad and inconvenient than controversial, because there might be the mentality that it wasn't intentional from Nintendo to decrease supply. Then, of course, there was all the drama in 2020 with the tournaments with Smash and how Nintendo would cancel them because one of them it was called the Big House Tournament, and they were playing Melee and used Slippy to play it online. And Nintendo just shut down the tournament despite a global pandemic happening. That was a big one. Switch Online,
Yeah.
when that was first revealed, that was controversial, but I have a feeling that these prices will definitely skyrocket in controversy. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet was another one. The Creators Program was another controversy. Joy-Con Drift's another. Just anything that really impacts a consumer in a really negative way. Joy-Con Drift's definitely one of them. I keep on falling.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
Maybe one like I know this one was like a long time ago, but I guess it was also the whole Mario Party hand injuries one where they literally had to make a glove just to fix that problem, and that did look
Wow.
pretty bad at the public in the time. I'd say that's like one of the earlier ones. I'd say.
Well, I think Demetrius' favorite would be the free updates one.
Free updates. Woo!
That was more controversial amongst Nintendo fans, but Joy-Con Drift, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, the scale that was higher. Oh, Super Mario
Yeah.
Brothers 35 and Super Mario 3D All-Stars.
Oh,
I don't think
yeah.
anything's going to reach the
That was a bit
backlash
rough.
of these prices. Yeah, of course I did,
Yeah,
my son Tebalt. We could get one final super chat in before the stream ends. That would be wonderful! And it definitely help the
Wonderful.
GameCube controller.
What else is there?
And that
Oh
controller looks
yes,
neat.
Talking Flower?
I'm so happy
guys,
we're finally.
How do we feel about
yeah.
Talking Flower getting in a game before Captain?
Oh yeah, in Mario Party. That's cool.
I'm down for
Cool
it.
detail. Are you guys happy about the best announcement of the direct? Chibi Robo is being added to Switch.
Hey, it means
That
the
I
prices
was
will
not
go down for
expecting.
GameCube if anyone buys a
Yeah.
Switch 2, considering the prices.
I guess
I'm so
whoever
happy
had
with that.
TV
That's
Robo
really
on your
cool.
bingo card, I guess it counts.
Yeah, that's such a surprising announcement. I suspected we could see GameCube because there was some rumor about it for the longest time. But I'm happy that there's so many games being added to it. Hopefully we don't get them like every once every year, because that would be quite bad.
Yeah,
You know,
a
Nintendo
drip
does
feed
get-
of GameCube games would be extremely torturous to me.
Brian, thank
Yeah.
you for the donation. I hate subscription services. I will only pay $20 for online play and save data. I will never play games I can't buy or play offline. If you want to play as many retro games as you want, get a retro handheld like the Anbernic RG556. I just did a review of it. But thank you so much. Hey Demeech, has Nintendo been cooking this open world since Double Dash and Mario Kart 8 because there's a lot of track connections and now it's a game? They might have had the idea, but I don't think it's been worked on ever since Double Dash. I do wonder how long the development time was for Mario Kart World. Because it looks definitely higher than after they quit Tour. It's got to take more time than that.
No, I was gonna say in response to that comment, I think it's just a coincidence. Like Double Dash is kind of part of that era where games like Sunshine had a nice interconnected world, but I don't think it's intentional. It's just like, hey, look, we can finally do this now, which leads me into speculation on that 3D Mario, where I think it could be following the Bowser's Fury direction with like a big interconnected world, kind of like the vision they probably had for those GameCube games at the time.
It's still going to be hype
Question,
playing GameCube games on Switch too. Good evening, Demeech. You've been on a roll today. First a rant about Mario Kart being $80, then a review of a Nintendo Direct, and a live stream. Well, today I kind of have to be on a roll because how often does Nintendo have a Direct for a new console? And also, I'm working on another video after this. So, I don't know how sane I'm going to be. Sometimes I do wonder if a regular 9 to 5 might be better. But this isn't frequent. It's not like this all the time.
Yeah, I do wonder if we're gonna get a direct in June or something. I could see that being a possibility. What do you guys think about
I would only
that?
assume
or
so.
do you think it'll be until September?
They gotta keep the
think
hype
so,
going
too.
for the Switch too.
Yeah, because a lot of the games seem to be around that summer, nothing past that. So I do wonder if there is going to be a few stuff for June that they announced for the holidays. I don't know if a 3D Mario game would be a little bit further than we think because of this Donkey Kong game. If it's developed by the same team or it has, or that's what they've been working on for the longest time. But
I'm really
I don't
okay
know.
with Donkey Kong being in the spotlight for a year. We could have the next 3D Mario in a year and I'll be
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Donkey Kong
it's
game
nothing
looks really
different.
good. I'm
yeah,
interested to try that out.
it looks cool. Yeah, I like
I'm
how they're doing nice stuff with the art style.
We get plenty of Mario games, so having Donkey Kong in the spotlight, especially considering that this is the first Donkey Kong game in over a decade, you know what? It's worth it. And I'm super hyped for it. I hope it's at the Nintendo Switch 2 experience. The first one is happening on Friday, so we'll see what kind of games they'll have. But Donkey Kong Bonanza better be one of them. But after this
Yeah.
race,
So
we will have to skadee.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys seen the Yoshi's Woolly World thing. I don't know if you guys talked about that earlier.
We did a little bit. It's so weird they didn't
Yeah.
reveal that in the Nintendo Switch 1 Direct.
It is weird. That's strange. It could have been a mistake. But I don't think so.
Unless
they
we
don't
get a Rainbow
just make
Road,
that
this
mistake like
concludes.
that.
No Rainbow Road.
It could have been an oversight, you know. I was
Mark-
thinking like, you know, there was no Nintendo Switch 1 announcements for this year really. So maybe they have some sort of extra few announcements to drop just randomly, but why wouldn't they just put into the direct? It's kind of strange. So I don't know, weird.
Could be like a Twitter drop or something. Or
Yeah,
Nintendo
maybe.
Today drop. They could do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say for a Nintendo Today.
But let's check the
They
standings
could do that.
of the tournament. Oh, that's cool that it's in Mario Kart World. We're getting a Mario Kart World Direct on April 17th, so it's a little over 2 weeks away. Despite the
Yeah, that'd be
pricing.
exciting.
Yes, I think we could get enough pushback for the pricing. Meta 13's the
hope
winner,
so.
followed by Holden. Then yours truly, JZ Man, Nico, Soshi, Marcus, Jerry Mouse, Michael, Tanya, Mr. Ratman, and a fan from Japan. So what's interesting is that even though this tournament didn't have as many players as usual, the viewers in the stream were a lot more. So that was very exciting. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching. To summarize everything, $80 games suck, $90 games suck even more, but the games themselves, being Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza, look outstanding, and I hope that Nintendo addresses this pricing issue because these games deserve all the love and attention that they can get. They deserve nothing but pure hype and excitement, and this pricing thing is completely greedy, and it should just be flat out removed. Bring the game prices to $70 and fans will be happy. Well, happier. $60 would
Yeah.
be ideal, but I get $70. Let's be reasonable. But anyways,
Yeah,
guys,
I'd be content with 70.
thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe to Nick2751 and Riders DX along with Anton Retro, and keep calm and da-don.
But well, fellas.
Skiddy, skiddy, skiddy.